Awesome. Okay, so when it comes to talking to your customers about plastic, don't get stressed about it, right? The big thing is nobody expects you to be a scientist. Okay, nobody expects you to know the chemical makeup of all of our products and things like that. The big thing is to be able to talk about it confidently with your customers to reassure them that our plastics are safe. And so there are a couple key things that customers are wanting to hear from you when they're asking you about our plastics and what makes them different. And I've learned through the many years of working vendor shows and now doing a virtual business when you're on lives or doing parties and when you're in person doing your parties, but also on Facebook, people are a little bit more bold, right? When they're virtual and they're behind a computer, they're not looking at you in the eye. They can be a little bit more bold sometimes in the things that they say to you and the way they approach you, kind of an accusatory way about our plastics. And so it's important to kind of know what it is that you need to say about our plastics. And one of the key things about our plastics are that is key to know is that we use virgin plastic in 99% of our products. We used to say 100%, but now we have our eco line, which is actually a product that is made with recycled plastic because they found a way to be able to properly clean the recycled plastic to make it food safe, right? But 99% of our products are made with virgin plastics, which what that means is we know the complete chemical makeup of our products. So we can, with complete confidence, say that it is BPA free. Right. And that is one of the biggest things that people want to hear is that our products are BPA free. And the other thing that is really important to know is when they started coming out with articles about the recycle numbers on products, right? That was a big thing, right? So everybody's turning over the plastic and looking for that recycle number, and they read an article in the newspaper, wherever it is they get their news, and they're looking for a specific number. And they would get very stressed out when our product did not have a number on it, okay? Well, some of our molds were made before this recycling number system came up, right? And it's funny because when I say, well, we're over a 7-year-old company, so some of our molds were made a very long time ago. So long before they had recycle numbers, and people go, oh, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no, we don't have that number because our mold was made before this number was the thing, and they're like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So that a lot of times puts their mind at ease. But the biggest thing is just kind of like making sure that they know, one, we're BPA free. Two, we know the complete chemical makeup of our products because we use virgin plastics. And so we can confidently say we are BPA free. And sometimes whatever it is that you say is still not going to appease them. And that's okay. And you got to kind of like read the room and know when to just stop and just say, I completely understand. And I understand if, you just don't feel comfortable using plastics, and just kind of back away. I will share this. Recently I was on a live and two things happened on this one single live that I found very interesting. So somebody asked me, is our product safe to use in the microwave? And I said, you know what? Not all plastics are created equal. And I got this line from Pam many years listening to her talk about the products. So when people ask me if our products are microwave safe, I say not all plastics are created equal, even in Tupperware. So we do have products that are specifically for the microwave, and those are the ones we recommend for the microwave. So, and then I go in, I'm like, oh, our vent and serves are top of the line. It's made of similar materials as your eyeglasses, so it doesn't stain. It's the only product not guaranteed to not stain. You can hear it. I've said it many times. Okay. It's actually not made of a plastic, so that's why it is guaranteed not to stain. And then I say, then we have our vent or our crystal wave, and our crystal wave is a plastic. So sometimes there is a little bit of staining going on, but you know what? It's okay. And so I kind of talk about that, but it is a reheatable, so you want to do 50% power, right? So that is one of the lines that I use. Not all plastics are created equal, right? The other thing that is important to know is talking about the biodegradable versus recyclable. So our products are not biodegradable. They're not meant to break down. That is not the purpose of Tupperware. That is the reason why we have grandma's Tupperware. That is the reason why we still have this product that's been passed down from generation to generation. And that's why people are still talking about it, right? Because we're not biodegradable. We don't break down, right? We are recyclable, right? So you can recycle our products, right? But we're not biodegradable. And you don't want to use biodegradable products to store food in, because it started biodegrading. It doesn't have a start date, right? So it does not have a start date. It started happening before it even got to your house, because it was stored in a warehouse and it was shipped in a truck, and it was hot and it was cold and it was hot and it was cold. And that's how it biodegrades, right? That's the environment that it starts to break down in. And so that's some of the things that I tell people. And so this was the conversation that I had on this live, right? This was part one of the conversation. And you know what the person said? She goes, "Thank you. That was exactly the answer that I was looking for." And then she went on to tell me her husband works for a recycling plant. She was testing me. And I was like, "You stinker." And she goes, "My husband works for a recycling plant, and many people don't know this information." And she said, "And I wanted you to say it." And I was just like, oh my gosh, she was baiting me because she wanted me to get the information out there. I said, well, thank you for asking me that question so that I could say that. Because if I come on here and I just start saying these things, I sound like I'm preaching. I said, so I appreciate you asking me those questions so I can get that information out there without preaching. And so, and so it was kind of this funny exchange. So the next funny thing that happened on that live was somebody said, "Do you sell anything besides plastic?" And I'm like, "Girl, we're Tupperware, okay? We are plastic." And then I kind of laughed and I said, "Actually, we had a glass and bamboo product and I still have some." And so I showed her our glass and bamboo product. And I said, "You know what? I will say our plastic is very, very safe for you. I understand if you don't like to use plastic in your house." I said, "We did have a Prima Glass line." I said, "I don't currently have any. We don't sell it anymore. But if you do find somebody with that, that is fantastic. So definitely be on the look for that. But I do have this." And she ended up buying the glass and bamboo line. And then she thanked me for being open to listening to her concerns. And I said, "No problem. I completely understand. Everybody has different preferences, right?" And the reason why she purchased from me is because I didn't build a wall, because she has a preference of just not using plastic, right? So I could have built a wall there and been like, "Girl, you just need to get over it. Tupperware is safe," right? I didn't do that. I just listened to her concerns, and I pointed her into a direction of something that I had for her that would be within the parameters that she was looking for. So it's really important, because you're not going to change some people's minds, but it is important to kind of know some of the things that people are looking for. They're looking for BPA free, and knowing that our products are not biodegradable, that they are recyclable, are two of the really, really big things that are important to know about our products. So there is a document that is in our back office, but I will make sure to post it on Champion. It's probably already on the Champion team page on Facebook, but I'll make sure to post it again just so that you guys have access to it, so that you can just kind of save it and reference it. I'll make sure to put it in boards too. So you guys can just kind of keep going over it so that you can remember. All right. Awesome. Okay, back to you, Pam.